and welcome back to ByStephieNics. So if you haven't read the title yet, I think that the look is a little clue of what we're talking about today. We're going all in on horror, scary movies, ready to stream right now. And also, we've got a little guest over there. My dog Rocky, sleeping on my bed. As long as he remains calm, he's gonna chill with us in the background. We'll see how long that lasts. I've done a whole bunch of streaming recommendation videos in the past, and they'll all be linked down in the description box, of course. But for all of those, I've kept it limited to one service per video. So it's like a Netflix only, Hulu only type of deal. Here we're switching it up. We're talking horror, scary movies across all platforms. We are not discriminating. I'm giving you my picks for Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, one I've never talked about before. But if you have Amazon Prime, you have access to a whole bunch of free stuff, which I really never thought about, so we're going there today. With all that said, let's jump right into the video and to my list of scary movies ready to stream. Ready to stream and ready to scream. Okay, yikes. Okay, so I'm splitting these up into categories, and our first category is if you want to be scared of your own house, these movies are for you. What a category. I've got two movie picks for this category. On Netflix, I'm gonna recommend Dream House, and on Hulu, I'm gonna recommend When a Stranger Calls. Ooh, scary, scary. Dream House is a horror movie from 2011, and it stars Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz. They are now married. They started dating after filming this movie together, so that's just like a cute little fun fact to warm your heart. I hate going too much into what movies are about because I hate spoilers like with such a passion, but I'm gonna read you the little summary of the movie so you can get kind of a feel for what it is. It says, soon after moving into their seemingly idyllic new home, classic every horror movie, a family learns of a brutal crime committed against former residents of the dwelling. I saw this movie back when it first came out, 2011, 9 years ago, so it's been a little while. But this movie has stuck with me. There was like a mystery aspect of the movie. I don't think it's like a very like jump scare type of movie, but it's kind of like scary vibes. Like you get really into like the yikesness of it, if you know what I mean. The yikesness of it. Love that description. So that's Dream House, and then on the other side we've got When a Stranger Calls on Hulu. It's on Hulu, that's not the name. When a Stranger Calls is even more of a throwback. It's back from 2006. It stars Camilla Bell, who I only remember as Joe Jonas's ex-girlfriend. Another fun fact. This one I didn't see in theaters. I rented when I was home, and it's gonna make you a little scared of the phone ringing. I'll just put that out there. Let's jump right into the description of the movie. It says, during a babysitting gig, a high school student is harassed by an increasingly threatening prank caller. Yeah, so it's about this girl who's like babysitting kids, and the phone keeps ringing, but it's like, is it someone in the house? It's actually so funny because when the girl picks up the phone, she always says the same thing. And me and my sister find it so funny, and we've been like continuing to quote it all these years. Mandrakas residents, just watch that movie and quote along with me. Our little joke. Definitely a good time, scary vibes for sure, so check that one out, When a Stranger Calls. I'm just looking through my list trying to pick which one to talk about next. I'm gonna be saving my absolute favorite horror movie on all the streaming platforms for the very end, so make sure you stay tuned to that. It's a good one. But our next category for now is serial killers. If you're into like true crime stuff, serial killer podcasts, this is the category for you. My Netflix serial killer pick is called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. That's all the name of one movie. Let's talk about that, and then I'll share my Hulu one also. So, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile is a movie about the serial killer Ted Bundy. Real dude, real crimes. Not someone I'd like to meet. The movie stars Zac Efron as Ted Bundy, and it's told through the perspective of his girlfriend, played by Lily Collins. Lily Collins is having a moment right now. She's starring in Emily in Paris, which everyone is watching, everyone's talking about. So it'll be really cool to like watch her in a different genre here. So this movie came out in 2019, just a year ago, but I remember there was so much Ted Bundy content coming out like right at the same time. I don't know what it was. Everyone just wanted to talk about Ted Bundy. But this movie took like a cool perspective on it. Let me read you the little description. It says it's a chronicle of the crimes of Ted Bundy from the perspective of Liz, his longtime girlfriend, who refused to believe the truth about him for years. So rather than just like, oh, look at like all the crimes he did, it's like, how could you live with a serial killer for so long and not know what he was doing? I found this movie really interesting. It was like a new take on things and not very scary. It wasn't like gory or anything like that, as I remember. Maybe it's a little gory. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. And now jumping over to Hulu for our second serial killer pick, we're going classic horror, and I'm gonna recommend you watch Silence of the Lambs. Bringing it all the way back now. The Silence of the Lambs is a movie back from 1991. It stars Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. One of my favorite characters. You guys might know I'm obsessed with Hannibal, the TV show, one of my favorite shows of all time. This is the movie that it is based on, and I liked the movie. I didn't love it as much as the TV show, but it's like hard to top it for me. But this is a great movie to watch if you haven't seen it yet. A lot of like iconic moments in this movie, iconic lines, things that you've heard quoted and like recreated in TV shows that you never knew what they were like like referencing. So at least for that, I'd say give it a watch. And then also I feel like horror movies from the past aren't as like gory and scary as some more modern ones are. So maybe it'd be worth giving it a shot if you're like a little scared of the new stuff. It's definitely like psychologically twisted. There's some cool like relationship manipulation stuff going on. It's a good time. I keep saying everything's a good time. It's scary, okay? It's not a good time. It's a scary time. Totally forgot to read the description of this movie. Okay, let's pull it up. A young FBI cadet must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, a madman who skins his victims. Ooh, crazy stuff. We're gonna flip it around a little bit. This category is if you want the gore. You want the blood, you want the scare, you want it all. We are talking shark horror. I've got one pick for this category. On Hulu, we're talking Shark Night. This movie was back from 2011 and it was about a bunch of friends who like go out for like some sort of like lake retreat or whatever, and they run into some shark encounters. One by one, they all start getting affected by this shark, and it's like kind of like a corny, campy vibe, if I remember correctly. Like there's some comedy in it. It's not just like straight scare you out of your mind type of stuff, but there is gore because it's a shark movie. Let's jump right into the description before I forget. It says, a weekend at a lake house in the Louisiana Gulf turns into a nightmare for 7 vacationers as they are subjected to shark attacks. Shark in the water. There were a few big names in the movie, Sarah Paxton and Catherine McPhee. And then also, I'm just looking right here, Chris Carmack was in it too, like from Nashville and Grey's Anatomy. Did not remember that at all that he was in this movie, but it was before I knew him from TV, so that's interesting. If you're not too overly scared of shark stuff, this is kind of a fun one to like watch with friends. It's that kind of cute vibe. So if you're doing like a little virtual hangout, real hangout with your friends, your family, anything like that, this might be a fun one to be scared by. Yeah. If you've been enjoying the video so far, definitely scroll down and leave a big like to let me know. We are now talking trendy horror. Buzzed about horror. I've got 2 picks for you here. First, let's jump into Amazon Prime because we haven't even talked about it yet. They don't have much on there, but they do have some good stuff. My Amazon Prime pick for trendy horror is a movie that came out last year called Midsommar. It stars Florence Pugh, who's in Little Women, and this was like a very big talked about movie, and unfortunately I haven't seen it yet, but like it's right at the very top of my must watch list. I've heard great things. I know it's supposed to be like a psychological, like twisted type of horror, and that's my vibe, my number 1 genre. I don't really want to ruin this at all for myself. I hate spoilers, like I said, but we're gonna jump into the description because we just have to. Okay, let's see what it says. It says, a couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What could go wrong? What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Okay, didn't know exactly that's what the plot was, but now we know. This movie, I'm probably gonna watch it this weekend now that I'm talking about it for you guys. I'm gonna get around to finally. I'm excited to watch this one. Give it a watch. Let's see what we think together. And onto our Netflix trendy horror pick. We're talking Bird Box. Yes, love Bird Box. Bird Box came out in 2018 and literally everyone was talking about it then. Every meme on the internet had to do with Bird Box. I remember it came out and I didn't see it for maybe like the first week that it was out, and I was just trying to avoid every meme about it because like I didn't want to know anything. It stars Sandra Bullock, and this was a really, really cool movie. Like, well done. I feel like it was a really perfect mix for a scary movie. It was psychological, it had emotion, it was like kind of like up and down, like well paced, and then also just very scary. Let's jump right into the description. It says, 5 years after an ominous, unseen presence drives most of society to suicide, a mother and her 2 children make a desperate bid to reach safety. Yeah, it's definitely like a lot of tension. You're like rooting for them. There's mystery, suspense. This is a great movie. Even though it's a few years old, the buzz isn't still happening. This is a great one you gotta watch. Next category. First, can we just like address this situation? Rocky has been so good this whole time. Quiet claps for Rocky. Our next category is indie horror. Love it. I've got one pick for this category and it's on Amazon Prime. We're talking about The Lighthouse. Yet again, this is the second movie on our list that I haven't actually seen yet, but it's like one that I've been wanting to see so bad. The Lighthouse came out just a year ago in 2019, but if you saw the poster for it or any footage from it at all, you would not guess that. The movie was actually done fully in black and white, which I know will put some people off, but it was a very cool stylistic choice. I definitely respect it because I feel like it puts you immediately into the setting of the movie. It gets you like feeling like a little like off balance, not what we're used to. So I feel like it definitely worked. I don't know much about the movie. I tried to not find out too much, but I know that it really revolves around 2 characters and their relationship, and they're played by Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Mr. Twilight is back. Let's jump into the description to find out a bit more. It says, two lighthouse keepers try to maintain their sanity whilst living on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s. I almost said 1980s. 1980s would not be black and white. From what I got about it, it seems just like a really small scale film, really focused on like character and setting, which I love. So I'm very interested to watch it. Maybe I'm gonna add it to my little weekend viewing party, Midsummer, The Lighthouse. I'm watching it and you should too. Wow, Amazon Prime is really like taking over my weekend, is it not? And on to one final category before I reveal my favorite pick. This final category is another fun title. It's called Stalkers. Woo! Love Stalkers. If you love the creepy, no boundary character type of film, these are some good movies for you. I've got two picks, both on Netflix. Netflix really has a lot of good horror. The first one that we're gonna talk about is called The Roommate. The Roommate is another movie back from 2011. I guess I saw a lot of horror in theaters in 2011. That's why I'm picking them all. I don't know what it was about that year. But The Roommate takes place in like a college setting. And from what I remember, it's a girl who gets a roommate who becomes like creepily obsessed with her. And on top of that, they look scarily alike. To make matters worse, it's like one of those like slow build type of movies where at the beginning, like, you notice something's a little up and then it progresses and progresses to become like just like a yikes situation. The two roommates are played by Minka Kelly and Leighton Meester, who really do look alike, so it adds to that just like uneasiness as you're watching them, and it's like, wait, like who was that? Good casting for sure. Let's jump into the description. It says, when college freshman Sarah arrives on campus for the first time, she befriends her roommate, Rebecca, unaware that the girl is becoming dangerously obsessed with her. Not the college experience you're looking for. I don't remember this movie being like a super high quality film or anything like that. It's more of like a fun time scary movie. So again, if you're not looking for like the real like scary out of your mind stuff, I would probably start with something like The Roommate. It's gonna freak you out a little bit, but nothing like that will follow you around too long. Ooh, my nails look cool there, I like that. On to our second stalker pick on Netflix. It's called The Gift. Ooh, The Gift. The Gift is a movie that came out in 2015. It stars Jason Bateman, who I love. He's usually in comedy, so it was like cool to see him in a scarier movie. And then it also stars Joel Edgerton, who directed the movie actually, which I find so cool. Good for you, Joel. And this movie, I feel like the big word that I would put on this is like tension. Like similar to The Roommate, like at the beginning of the movie, like you know something is kind of up, it feels a little off, and then as the movie goes on, it just like builds and builds in intensity, and like you're just like waiting for the drop, like what is going on here? Definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat. You want to know what's going on. And as far as I remember, not too gory. Oh, Rocky, you're like twisting over there. Cutie pie. Yeah, but not super gory, so that's nice because I know a lot of people are opposed to that. It was more of a mind games type of movie. Let's jump into the description. It says, a young married couple's lives are thrown into a harrowing tailspin. I love these adjectives. Into a harrowing tailspin when an acquaintance from the husband's past brings mysterious gifts and horrifying secret to light after more than 20 years. It's like just from that alone, you're like, ooh, what's the secret? Watch the movie, find out what it is. It's a good one. And now we're finally ready to jump into the last category, but before we do, if you're also looking for some psychological horror or thriller TV shows and you want some suggestions, I've got an entire video I'll link right up there for you. It's all my favorites on Netflix. Definitely check it out. If you're looking for a new TV show, you'll for sure find one, at least one. I'll also have the video linked down in the description box if you want to check it out after. And now we can move on to my favorite horror pick of them all. Let's go. Okay, I gotta prepare myself. I'm ready to reveal to you guys my favorite horror movie on all these streaming platforms. Here we go. It's on Amazon Prime and it's called Hereditary. Yes, so good. Hereditary is a horror movie that came out just a couple years ago, back in 2018. And this one I actually saw in theaters with my best friend, and let me tell you, that was an experience. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty big into horror movies. I'm looking for some scares, and most movies just don't deliver for me. I guess I have like a pretty high tolerance for the scares. This movie scared me though. Oh, yes it did. Honestly, it was probably a combination of the movie being just incredibly made and really scary, and then the actual experience of watching it in a theater with my friend. Like, I'm telling you, we saw this super late at night, and then she was driving me home, and I wouldn't get out of the car because we were just like scaring each other about the movie. Oh my god, just like getting chills thinking about it. Okay, but let's actually talk about the movie for a second. Yeah, we probably should. The movie was directed by Ari Aster, who also directed Midsummer. That's why I'm really interested to see that one also, because he did such a good job with this one. The movie stars Toni Collette, who in this movie was just like amazing. I feel like let me jump into the description because I don't even know where to start. I'm like all over the place. Okay, it says a grieving family is haunted by tragic and disturbing occurrences. Okay, can it get any vaguer? I guess they really don't want to give much away and I don't want to either. But the movie, why I feel like it's so good, it was just like such a great combination of great characters, great emotion, like sadness, fear, suspense, terror, all of the above. Then we've also got some jump scares, we've got some mystery, we got like some supernatural stuff going on, and it's a great build. Like from the moment the movie starts, you're in it, but it just keeps getting better as the movie goes on. It doesn't lose you for a second, you just get more and more into it. This is a good horror movie. If you're only gonna pick one movie on this entire list, I'm gonna recommend you watch Hereditary. Very, very scary and just slightly disturbing. Everything you could ask for. And with all that said, we've completed the list of movies and Rocky has napped on my bed through the entirety of it all. Good boy, Rocco, proud of you. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, definitely scroll down and leave a big like for me right under the video. While you're down there, you can also subscribe, join the ByStephieNics fam, ring the notification bell to get notifications sent straight to your phone every time I post. All the good stuff. And while you're down there, definitely comment and let me know what your favorite scary horror movie is of all time. Give me some good suggestions because I want to watch some new horror too. I hope you guys had a fun time enjoying the spooky vibes in today's video. And as always, this was ByStephieNics. Or should I say, BooStephieNics. Boo! He finally woke up. He wanted to say hi. Rocky, you're snoring. Little teddy bear. Big yawn. Ah.